It's 1865. The Civil War just ended, and somehow you survived the madness. You fought for the Union, took some bullets, and guess what? You won. Good job. Now it's time to hang up the uniform and start fresh. So you and your wife pack up and head west, Kansas to be exact. It's not total chaos anymore, but it's still pretty wild. Think of it like the early access version of the Wild West. And the best part? Thanks to the Homesteading Act, the government's practically giving away land. You walk in, pay an $18 filing fee, and boom, 160 acres are yours. $18. A fortune back then, but still the opportunity of a lifetime. All they ask in return is that you make it look like you live there. Not bad, considering France got scammed into selling this land for $15 million. You and your wife claim a plot in Dickinson County. You're dreaming big. Seas of golden wheat, cows lazily munching grass, and piles of cash. Easy, right? Except first, you need somewhere to sleep. You have land, but zero building materials. No problem. You do what every other settler does. Build a house out of dirt. Yeah, a sod house. Exactly as miserable as it sounds. Prairie sod. Basically just bricks made from grass and mud stacked into a rectangle. Everyone out here's doing it, which doesn't make it less sad. You and your wife hustle, and after 3 weeks of backbreaking work, you've got yourself a sod house. It's not pretty, but hey, at least you're not sleeping under the stars anymore. Except you kind of wish you were. Last night, you sat down for dinner, took a bite of stew, and a snake just casually dropped out of your ceiling. That's not even the first time. It's the third time this week. And it's not just snakes. There are bugs, mice, spiders. Basically, everything that crawls or bites is now a part of your extended family. Even the dust shows up uninvited. It gets in your food, your hair, your dreams. Oh, and when it rains, congrats, you get a free shower right in your living room. You've patched that cursed roof so many times you could do it blindfolded. The sod just laughs at your effort. Your wife, she absolutely hates it here. She wants a real house, a proper roof, maybe some walls that don't melt when it rains. But you keep the dream alive. You remind her, the land is your future. If you can just survive a little longer, you could strike it rich. 2 brutal years. That's how long you've been sweating in the Kansas sun, praying your dirt house doesn't collapse, and whispering motivational speeches to your crops. And finally, nature throws you a bone. Your first real harvest rolls in, and it's big. You haul it to town and walk away with a cool $600. You feel like a millionaire for about 6 minutes. Then you remember, oh right, you bought seeds and tools and, food. You crunch the numbers and ouch, your profit, a whopping $100. That's enough to buy some more disappointment. It's fine. This is just how the early years go, right? You tell yourself things will get better, hopefully. Still, part of you wants to pack it in and leave Kansas behind. But now it's complicated. In 2 years, you've become someone here. You and your wife go to church. You've got friends. People wave at you in the street, and not in a "we're about to rob you" kind of way. You're known as the guy who doesn't settle arguments with a fistfight or a gunshot. And when trouble breaks out, you're the one helping the town marshal haul the drunks and thieves off to jail. Then one evening, after a long day of breaking your back in the fields, your friends show up. And they're not alone. The town marshal's with them. They're smiling. Never a good sign. They want you to run for sheriff. The town's getting out of control. Cowboys, outlaws, gamblers. The place is turning into the set of a bad Western movie. And the current lawman? Completely bought off. The town needs someone who actually gives a damn. Someone honest. Someone like, you. At first, you're like, politics? Absolutely not. But every time you see another drunk cowboy smashing up the saloon or some outlaw waving a pistol in the street, you get that itch. You want to fix this. So you say yes. Congratulations, you're now on the fast track to becoming the Wild West's version of Batman. Minus the cape and the millions. Now comes the fun part, campaigning. You spend weeks under the merciless Kansas sun, going from one dusty farm to the next, telling people your plans. Turns out, they like you. You're not some smooth-talking politician, you're just a guy who hasn't shot anyone unprovoked. which around here is basically saint status. Election day rolls around. Town hall's packed. Your opponent? The current sheriff, aka Mr. Corruption himself. He tries every dirty trick in the book. Bribes, lies, probably even free whiskey. But somehow, it just makes you look even better. The results come in, and it's not even close. You win by a landslide. Congratulations, you're now the sheriff of Dickinson County. You've got a shiny new badge, a new house, and a paycheck that actually lets you buy stuff instead of just dreaming about it. The good people of Abilene expect you to clean house. Meanwhile, every outlaw and shady dealer in town now hates your guts. Your job is simple on paper: enforce the law, catch criminals, keep the peace. Except it's never that simple. At home, things aren't any easier. Your wife, who fought just as hard to build this life, is tired of the fear, tired of worrying every night if today will be the day some outlaw guns you down. She tells you straight, this job is going to get you killed. Maybe it'll get me killed too. She begs you to quit, start over, find a safer life before it's too late. But you can't. Not when you finally built something worth fighting for. Not when the town is counting on you. So you stay, even though deep down you know she might be right. See, outlaws don't like being arrested. Shocking, I know. They shoot first, they shoot dirty, and they don't care if you're wearing a badge or a wedding ring. You only shoot when you have to. You're not out here looking for trouble, but if trouble finds you, you make damn sure you finish it. Like that horse thief you had to take down. Guy almost sent you to an early grave. 1 second you're trying to talk him down, the next, he's pulling a gun and forcing your hand. This isn't a world where you can just talk it out. This is the Wild West. Being a good guy doesn't mean being a soft one. You want peace, sure, but when things get ugly, your job is to survive. Badge or not, it's kill or be killed out here. A year into the job, and for the first time in a long while, Dickinson County actually feels calm. There's still tension bubbling under the surface. It's the Wild West after all, but nobody's dumb enough to mess with you. Then one day, an eviction notice hits your desk, signed by the county clerk. Routine business. You and your deputy saddle up and ride out to deliver it. No backup, just 2 men, 1 piece of paper, and a legal order. When you get there, the place is dead quiet. You knock on the gate, call out the tenant's name. Nothing. No movement. No response. Whatever, you start reading the notice out loud anyway. By order of the county court, you are to vacate this property no later than… BAM! Gunshot, and it barely misses your head. Okay, so this guy's not in the mood for conversation. You duck for cover, yelling that getting into a gunfight with you was a terrible idea. Doesn't matter. Shots keep flying like it's target practice. You're pinned down. Your deputy? You can't even see him. Probably already hit. Then silence. You peek out, gun ready, and there he is. Old Thomas, the tenant. He's calmly reloading. Stop. If you don't, I'll have to shoot. He doesn't care. Keeps reloading like he's deaf or just done with life. You're seconds away from making a decision when, out of the corner of your eye, you spot another guy with a gun raised. You don't hesitate. You fire. Then, as the dust clears, your stomach drops. It's not Thomas's friend, it's your deputy. You run to him, press on the wound, beg him to stay with you, but it's too late. He dies in your arms. Your friend, your partner. Something inside you snaps. You look back at old Thomas. Just one look, that's all it takes. You raise your gun and you shoot. You know you shouldn't have. It wasn't justice, but in that moment, it felt like the only thing you could do. And just like that, the calm in Dickinson County shatters. The news spreads fast. 1 minute, you're the sheriff everybody trusts. The next, you're the guy who killed his own deputy and an old tenant in a standoff gone sideways. Doesn't matter how many outlaws you locked up or shootouts you stopped. People only remember the blood. The people who once trusted you, now they look at you like you're just another outlaw in a shiny badge. Sure, you've done good stuff as sheriff. You've kept the peace. You cleaned up the streets. But killing 2 people, even by Wild West standards, is wild. And the worst part, no one hates you more than you do. You see your deputy's kids in town and your stomach twists. You cry when no one's looking. Most times, you drink. Whiskey becomes your new best friend. It's the only thing that numbs the guilt, even if it's slowly killing you too. Then, fate kicks you again. Your wife starts coughing. Nothing serious at first, then blood shows up. Tuberculosis. She needs medicine. She needs you. But you can barely stand on your own 2 feet. Most of your money's already been poured down the bottom of a whiskey bottle. Eventually, she dies. You lose the only family you had left, and it's all your fault. At least, that's how you see it. The pain, it's unbearable. So you do the only thing you know how to do now. Drink even more. By the time the next sheriff election rolls around, you don't even bother. You walk away. You want nothing to do with badges, law, or anything else. Now, you spend your days in saloons, drinking, gambling, hanging out with the very outlaws you used to chase down. Time passes. Kansas starts to change. The cattle stockyards, once full of rowdy cowboys, are drying up. They're riding off somewhere else. But the violence? Yeah, that's still alive and kicking. The new sheriff's having a rough time. Crime's rising. People are scared. But hey, not your problem anymore. Right now, you've got more important things to worry about, like winning this card game. Because if you don't, you're not eating tonight. And the guy across the table, he looks like he already knows what's in your hand. He throws down his cards. You lose. Now give me all you've got. Damn it. You just lost everything again. But this time, you can't afford to walk away. You slam your fist on the table, knock the cards to the floor, and let your boots do the rest. I'm not paying you a damn thing. Bad move. He doesn't argue, doesn't yell. He just pulls a revolver like he's done it 100 times before. You try to talk him down. Wait, we can figure this out. Bam! It's over before you hit the floor. You're bleeding out fast. The room's spinning. That bastard's already running. And all you can do is lie there, watching your own life slip away. People rush over to you, trying to save you, shouting your name, but it's no use. You know it, they know it. This is how it ends. You've made more mistakes than most men get chances, but you also gave everything you had to make Abilene better. You brought law to a place that didn't believe in it. You stood for something when most folks just stood by. And long after your dust in a Kansas grave, the town will still remember those years when justice wore a star and your name. Thanks for watching, and congrats on not being born back then. But if you want to see just how cursed it really got, the next video's waiting. Just click it.